Welcome students for your science period. This is second period of science and we are going to discuss about the same chapter that we had discussed yesterday, birds and their nest. Today we will do the same chapter, birds and their nest. You can see the beautiful picture of birds here. As you know, birds are most beautiful creature of this world. They are very colorful, chirpy. We all love to see birds. Now this is page number 3 of this chapter, children. I'm going to read these lines and you open your books and try to read with me. Now let us learn more about the nesting habits of different birds. Nesting habits of different birds. Birds start making their nest usually in the month of April. It means April is a very busy time for them because they have to collect different type of materials for making their nest. As you have already read about this, birds uses like wooden piece, wire, hair, cloth pieces and wool, etc., straw, dry leaf for making their nest. So April month is a very busy time for birds because they have to make their nest. Making a nest is a time consuming task. It means it takes time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Different birds have different nesting habit. Some birds make their nest in special ways. You must have seen nest of a very common bird like sparrow, crow. But children, different birds have different nesting habit and they made so beautiful nest that you can't imagine. A small bird makes very beautiful nest. In this picture you can see different type of nest. There are 6 pictures here and you can see different type of nest. Nests are also made by pebbles, small stones. Some birds uses mud for making their nest. The sparrow, sunbird and dove mostly work in pairs to make their nest. It means parents, both sparrow, sunbird and dove, they work in pairs. The male and female both work to make a beautiful nest. For the main function, the prior function of nest is what? Birds lay their eggs in the nest, hatch them, and when the chicks are grown up, they are old enough to fly, they just leave the nest. You must have seen a sparrow in your locality. Sparrow is most common bird. We all have seen sparrow in our locality. It makes its nest between the branches of a tree, on the top of almirah, behind the shelf, in the meter room or any other such corner. Children, you have also seen nest in your school. Have you remembered the hall? In winter, the fan is switch off, or in the month of, mainly in the month of April, that is the nest making time of bird. You have seen the nest of the bird, uh, a very common nest, a crow nest, the most common nest. Children, you must have seen the crow nest on the top of the branches of a tree, or in meter room, also in your house. Have you seen nest? This is very simple nest made by sparrow. A sparrow in its nest at a tree branch. You can see the sparrow use straw, dry leaf for making their nest. This is the picture of crow, children. Crow generally choose top of the branches for make their nest. This is very beautiful, adorable young bird, chick of the bird. Can you identify this small bird? This is the baby of sparrow. Yesterday you have learnt about Indian robin bird. Children, see the egg of robin bird and use of mud, straw for making nest. It is blue in color. Come to the next page, children. A crow also makes its nest. A crow uses all type of materials like wire, small wooden pieces to make its nest. Crow builds its nest on or near the topmost branch of a tree. Have you ever seen the nest of a tailor bird? These nests can be generally seen hanging on the branches of trees. As the name suggests, tailor. The name of the bird is tailor bird, and tailor bird stitches the leaf with the help of its beak, using small twig as thread to make its nest. Children, this small bird known as tailor bird, this bird beautifully stitch two long leaf and use its beak as a needle, and for the thread it's used straw, a small twig, and it stitches so beautifully that you can't imagine such a beautiful nest made by this small bird known as tailor bird. It uses straw, soft twig, feather inside the nest, and also inside the nest for making it cozy for their young chick. They use cotton, twigs, and feather like cushion. To make a cushion, it is really nice to see this bird making its nest. Tailor bird makes its nest so beautifully and also put inside its nest the cotton feather to make its cozy resting place for their young ones. And in the next picture you can see the barbet. Barbet makes its nest in the hole of a tree trunk. You can see this bird, this is small bird making a hole in a trunk of a tree, and this is the nest of the barbet. I am showing you picture. Children, this is the bird known as flamingo. You can see the nest made by flamingo using mud. This is tailor bird, children. See how beautifully it stitches the two long leaf. See the stitches like a tailor. So this is known as tailor bird. This is very common bird. You can identify easily. It's a sparrow. You can see its nest. Its nest. Young ones are there, and the mother feeding worms to their chicks. You can see wide open chick, wide open beak of a young one or chick, and the mother is feeding worms. Just see. The small bird having twigs for making its nest. This is dove, children. You have just read dove, sunbird, and sparrow. They work in pair to make their nest. This is the picture of dove. Now come to your classwork, children. You have to match section A to section B. Ostrich, tailor bird, hummingbird, barbet, nest, used for eating food. You have to match with the second part. And the question number 2, draw nest of tailor bird or sparrow. You have just seen the nest of tailor bird and sparrow both. You have choice yourself which nest you want to draw, sparrow or tailor bird. And this is your homework, children. Write 3 features of birds that help them to fly. Yesterday I explained to you about 3 features. They have hollow bones, they have wings made up of light feathers, and the last one, they have boat shaped body which help them to fly. These 3 features you have to write down, children, in your copy. This is all about today, class, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.